Hey everybody, so I'm back with a new video in the new year. I've started recording several other videos, but I think I'm just gonna put little small bits or snippets, or they may not even be small bits and snippets, but I may just like condense them down in this video. I don't know, I'm like foggy brained right now. So I guess let's just start back. Did I say that this was going to be like a little life update thing? It is. I already started this video several times. This is like my 5th attempt at starting it. But anywho, so, by the way, I got little fur balls somewhere around here under this blanket. But, because she loves being under the blanket. But anyway, I think the first video clip that I have that I'm gonna put in here was back from a few weeks ago. We had inventory at work and I went in and worked 3 days. Inventory is really 2 days, but the first day that I worked was the typical day that I normally work, and then they want me to come and do inventory. Like the first day of inventory is at night, and I'm not, no. I try to not be out driving at night because of my vision issues. And so I was like, well, I could come in and work during the morning and do like some prep work. And so that's what I did. And then the second day of inventory, it starts from early in the morning till afternoon whenever we're finished. So I came in and did my typical task for inventory on the second day, and it was a nightmare because I was making tickets and my gun wouldn't work. Like, I thought it was just me, but it turns out it was because I was the only one who was actually making tickets the right way. Why I was experiencing the problems, but if you went around like just scanned random items to make tickets, it worked okay. But like if you did it the right way, where you're supposed to look up the item on the gun to make the ticket, then it literally took 1 to 2 minutes for it to make one single ticket. And the time that it spent me to make a rack of tickets, I could have made 4 racks under normal circumstances worth of tickets. So, but I was like, you know what, if they're not done the right way right now, it's gonna come back and bite us later on. Like, it never fails that tickets get pulled off, or we lose tickets off items regardless. You know, once they're on the floor, people go around, pull them, whether it's intentionally or accidentally, or, you know, somebody's going by with a shopping cart of little kids or whatever. So, and then like if you have to go back and remake the ticket later, you want to make sure that it had the right ticket on it to begin with, because if somebody just made up some random ticket and then you have to go back and replace the ticket later, well, if you make the right ticket, it's not going to match up in the inventory system. Unless somebody who previously made the ticket just happened to remember, which there's no way, I mean, there's no way possible that they can remember like what random item, or else if that item's still even in the store that they made the ticket off of, but whatever. Anyway, long explanation, but that's why I try to do things the right way, because when it, like later on after inventory each week, we're like, you know, we have a system ratio when we're doing markdowns. If we don't capture those items that are marked down, like if we don't make, and that's what I do, I mark down items. If, you know, every time you, well, anyway, long story short, I can go into really precise details, but let me just not. But basically, the numbers don't add up. If the right ticket is not on there, if it's the wrong ticket on there, the numbers and everything are not going to match up in the long run, and it's going to look really bad on our part. And we are judged and ranked based on that, like as a store. So that's why I try to do things the right way. Plus I'm a Capricorn. It's in my nature to do things the correct way. So whatever. But anyway, so that day, that was my 3rd day working that week, my last day for the week. And once we got out of there for inventory, which we ended up having, like, I was scheduled till a certain time, but ended up having to stay like an hour and a half over. I mean, that's okay and all, but I mean, that's just, I was in a foul mood. Like, inventory always puts me in a foul mood, but this was by far the worst I've ever encountered this issue. And so JoAnn's was having a yarn sale at the time, So I was like, I'm just gonna hop on the interstate and just go on down to JoAnn's, and I did. And I said they were having a yarn sale. I mean, they had a really good yarn sale where like Red Heart Super Saver was on sale for $2.99 a skein, and then the Big Twist, like their version of the Red Heart Super Saver, was on sale for $1.99 a skein. And so I stocked up. I bought over 30 skeins. But yeah, so I think I have a clip of my little aftermath of that I'll insert, like, of what I got. And that way, like, I always like just being able to go back and reference what I bought by looking at the video clips. So yeah. Just a sneak peek at my little yarn haul from JoAnn's from earlier in the week. The last day of inventory at work was a very stressful day, so I decided to treat myself to a little retail therapy. Well, JoAnn's had the Big Twist yarn on sale for $1.99 and the Red Heart Super Saver on sale for $2.99. So I wound up with over 30 skeins of yarn. So I got my pinks and my purples and some yellows and nice bright orange right there. Guess it's really like a coral, neon coral. Got my blues, my purples, and my greens up in here. Well, mainly greens and purples, but hey. And then I got some of my darker shades, my darker purple, my dark blue, and my blacks in here. And then I got my Red Heart Super Saver, and just another skein of purple. And a random little thread there. But I finally found the retro stripes. I have been trying to get my hands on some more of this. I have several skeins already that I've been hoarding because I didn't want to waste them, or not have, well, not really waste them, but I was afraid I wouldn't have enough for whatever project I decided to work on. Like I was thinking of maybe a vest or else a shawl of some type, but yeah, this has been sold out for a really long time everywhere I've looked. And I finally found some, so I got 4 of them, and then I got another one of these. This is the bright neon, and just bright stripe. I have a few of these skeins that I've collected, and I've kind of used one, and I really like it, so yeah. So again, my little sneak peek of my yarn haul. I think I'm going to start dipping into using this yarn for a few projects. I thought. So I just wanted to get a little footage of it before I start dipping into the stash of this, just so I can see what I have for future reference. So I can be like, oh yeah, I got that from JoAnn's, or that color, yeah, so there we go. And then fast forward till today, they were having another sale on the Red Heart Super Saver. It was like another yarn sale, but Red Heart Super Saver again was $2.99, and then like other stuff was like 30% off, but whatever. The Big Twist, it was on sale, but it wasn't as good of a deal as the Red Heart Super Saver. So, and I feel like I got glitter in my eye, go figure. So let me show what I bought today. I didn't buy nearly as much, but I did buy some stuff. So I just restocked up on some colors. I'm not even going to bother taking them out of the bag. I'll just show them like this. Look, we got a medium purple, a darker purple, a blue. Actually, it's more like a teal blue, the green, the hot pink. And then, okay, this stuff I will take out of the bag. Yellow. And then I got 2 of these in this parrot colorway. I don't think I have any of this colorway, or maybe I have maybe 1 skein of it that I got a long time ago, but it's pretty. Actually, it's called, sorry, Toucans. Oh, that's where your head is right now. Okay, she turns around under this blanket. I accidentally dropped a skein of yarn on her head. Oops, my bad. She's okay though. Yeah. But these actually remind me more of peacock colors than parrot colors. Like, I know that they're probably referencing a blue macaw with these, but anyway, it reminds me more of peacock than macaw. And then I got everybody's favorite, or what everybody's been trying to find. And they said that they had 12 in stock according to the website, which I know is not anything to go by, or they could have had more stock in the back, but they only had 3 skeins out. I was greedy today and grabbed all 3. And I know this is so popular because of that one TikTok girl who has the little knitting loom thing. Whatever. I had some of this before, like from several years ago, and I was hoarding it because I didn't feel I had enough to make any of the projects I wanted to make with it. And so when I came across it again the last time I went to JoAnn's, I got quite a few skeins, and then today I hoarded some more because I want to make, my idea is I want to make at least a big long like fringy vest out of this, like a hippie flower child fringy vest of some sort. I don't know if I want it to be a rounded vest because I do want to make a rounded vest at some point, and I'll probably crochet that. And I'm always like, should I knit it or should I crochet it, because I'm capable of doing either one, but crochet would probably be better. But if you crochet, it's going to use up more yarn for the amount of the item you have. So I mean, if that's the case. And then I've got to decide, there's hundreds of patterns out there. I'm like, which pattern should I go with? So anyway, that's my plan. I kind of feel, I'm always iffy about, you know, buying the skeins, because a lot, especially if they have a lot of loose ends sticking out, because I feel like this one is, the band on it, it's a lot looser and it's a lot thinner, maybe not, than these other ones. And I don't know, I feel like every time I buy these skeins of the multicolors, which these are the stripes in particular, there's just less and less yardage of yarn on them. Like the regular, just the solid colors, have 364 yards, whereas these have 236 yards. So you're getting like 130 yards less skein with this, even though it's the same price, but you're getting more color variety. So whatever. Well, they're pretty. So, and the thing is, like, I've been looking, I've been trying to replicate, like, if I could just buy like skeins of the solid colors, that of the colors featured in here, which I've come close, but like these greens, especially, and like these lighter teal blues, are kind of harder to match up, and some of the yellow, like, I'm trying my best to find individual skeins of acrylic yarn. Like, I think I came close with the big twist yarn that I got the last time, but and like also like this where it becomes like this tangerine orangey color, because I found a tangerine color, but it's a lot more bold and darker than the tangerine-y color in this, but whatever. Anywho, and then finally, I had a 50% off coupon. I actually had a 40% off coupon too, but I don't know. I was just kind of like, I was ready to get out of there. So I bought these using the 50% off coupon, which I think these were $8.99, so I got them for $4.50. But these are a size 50 circular knitting needle. These things are monstrous. Like, the biggest knitting needles that I have are currently in use, and they are size 13. So to get a, like, go from 13 to size 50, like, I've seen a bunch of the straight ones that are big like this, but I haven't seen any of the circular ones that were big like this, and they have like a 36-inch, well, I guess I was gonna say they have a 36-inch cable, but I think the 36 inches is counting the needle tips too. So, significant difference, but I figure, like, if I want to use chunkier yarn or something, or if I want like a really loose open stitch, which I've got some projects to show, these would be good. And which, yeah, let me go ahead and just show some stuff I'm working on, like this. Like, this is one of my projects I'm working on. I've got it attached here. So another thing I'm really big about is getting sweaters from the thrift store, or like even my mom's old sweaters, and frogging them and using them in projects, like just straight off of like the actual piece of sweater that I'm frogging. So this is like a crop sweatery type thing that I'm working on right now. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm kind of at the point to where I'm not even sure I want to continue it, but I think I am, just because I've gotten this far, and I always frog projects, and I need to stop doing that and just complete them and then go from there, like let them sit a while and see how I feel about them. But yeah, so it's got like, it's supposed to be like an open loose stitch thing. If I don't know if that, trying to do this so that it can I don't know, but like the yarn, like this tan yarn, the sweater, I didn't realize this until I started frying it, but it's that, I always called it bocal because that's, I always thought it was bocal, but I heard somebody recently refer to this kind of texture of yarn as boucle. But yeah, it's that bumpy, fuzzy texture yarn. I remember like JoAnn's back in the day when we had the old JoAnn's over here in Antioch. I've got hair on it. They used to sell these ginormous skeins of it that were like ombre colored. They would have them on sale for like $5 or something. You'd get like this ginormous, round, thick, well, it's not thick, I mean, but I mean like the skein itself was like a big, thick, ginormous skein. And it was maybe a little bit thicker yarn. Or maybe it's about the same as this yarn, I don't know. But anyway, ombre of this texture of yarn. I attempted to make several projects, and I'm sure I frogged most of them as well. Yeah, so that's one project. I'm going to show a couple of finished projects. So this is made out of that same yarn sweater thing. I saw, it's like a dress. I've seen it floating around online, and it inspired me. And it's like this asymmetrical dress that's like diagonally construct, or like the opening, the closure of it's like diagonal, but it's like real gapped and everything. And I saw this picture of like somebody styling it on a model where they wore it open like a vest and you could see it from the back. And so I wanted to replicate that or do my own version of it. So I made this thing right here. This one's knitted too. And I made it just like one piece and just kind of did like increases and decreases to get the shaping to it. And with, I can't remember, I might have used those size 13 needles on this as well. And then it's that time for me to go hoarse and start coughing and choking. But, and then I bound off and did the armholes and then the little straps to put together. I know you can't really tell it. I need to get my mannequin out. I kind of want to, I don't know if I want to add like, make a closure to put on it so that it's permanently attached, or I'm thinking about using 3 different brooches to hold it together, however many brooches, probably 3, because that, the way it was shown modeled where it was being worn as a vest, I think it had 3 buttons, but of course it had like buttons all the way through the length of it. But that way, you know, you can wear it however, if you just have brooches and not like a permanent like closure attachment system on it. And then this is another, the knitting on this is complete, however the construction of it is not, because I'm still not sure exactly what I'm going to do with it. But I think originally I was going to make it like a long sleeve top, but then I was thinking maybe I should just have it like a sleeveless top and have it like a vest or a tank top sort of deal, sleeveless top deal, whatever. And then I also kind of messed up where I attached the shoulders together, but I'm gonna go back and fix that. But this is it. Like, this is, you know, I knitted 2 rectangular pieces, and this is supposed to be the sides. I'm gonna attach the sides together somehow. Okay, hopefully I won't get choked up anytime soon. So as I was saying, I was thinking about like stitching up the sides together and like maybe leaving like some gaps to make it like peekaboo on the sides. I don't know. But yeah, so this is just like, I've seen this starting to become like a thing again. Like it's kind of been a thing on and off in the knitting world. I call it grungy knitting. I remember at one point it was called like scribble knitting, but then that kind of teeters on something else. But to me it's just grungy knitting, or like free. I've even heard of as free form, but it's not necessarily free form, but yeah, this is kind of more like a controlled version of it. And I've done stuff like this in the past, but a lot of times I'll just frog it or just like leave it incomplete and not do anything, like not finish working on it. And then here's the other side. But I intend to complete it sometime soon. Hopefully I'll figure out what to do with it. But it has like, you know, I like doing the yarn overs and then the drop stitch sort of deal right through there. Let's see what else. Oh, I showed this in the other video, like one of my previous videos, maybe my last video, that I was working on this. I don't think I have shown it completed yet, but it's this, I'm struggling, it's this top, this raglan top, and yeah, so I finished it, and it looks so funky, like, just looking at it from the top like this, like it almost looks like I'm holding it upside down, like almost like it should be this as the top up. But here's my explanation for that. So this is the neck hole. It's kind of like a really open wide neck, and this was what was inspired by Erin B. I think I linked her video in my other video. But she made a top like this and I was inspired by it. So I made my own little version of it, but I added a knitted ribbing band to the bottom so that way it wasn't so loose. I also made mine longer in length. It's still a crop sweater, but as you can see, but it's not as cropped as hers was. And then she had fringe on hers, so I made fringe on mine, which hers is like I cannot stop coughing. I think it's because I don't talk a lot to begin with. And so just sitting down and talking for a while, my vocal cords can't handle it. That may be why I just never liked talking a lot to begin with. But hers started out being because, you know, her loose ends. And so she decided to leave them and use it as a style element. So I copied that and intentionally made mine a lot longer to include as a style element. I have a picture, like a iffy picture that I took, that I'll try to insert in this video of me trying it on, just like one of those phone camera mirror selfie pics. But yeah, so I guess I'll just show my other projects I'm working on. So I'm working on a second one. Let me take my hook out so I don't lose the hook. But yeah, here's my second one in progress. And it's funny, like I thought maybe I could make this to sell, and I was gonna make it like a bigger, like one that could probably fit, you know, a medium person comfortably. But I was gonna make a smaller like neck hole so that it wasn't just so like loose and wide and everything. However, I think because I did that, it's coming out to be smaller. And yeah, because I started out with less chains to make the neck hole, therefore it wasn't growing as fast and as wide as the other one. So I don't know, I may wind up keeping this because it's starting, like this one's fitting me like a glove. And I know there's other people out there who are my size and a lot smaller than me, but I just, from being like working in a retail world and seeing like what people are looking for when they shop for clothes, like the sizes that they're looking for, I don't think there'd be much demand or big demand for somebody wanting a small, like one that's like for size small or extra small, like a really fitted one. I don't know. I could be wrong. But, because like I'm small, like I can fit child sizes, so maybe somebody might want it for their child. I don't know. But I almost was ready to give up on it, but I think I'm just going to keep on working on it and see how it goes. But I just like the rainbow, like the gradient of the rainbow or whatever, the pattern of the rainbow, instead of like this one I just did like whatever random colors, and the sleeves, the colors don't match up on the sleeves, but I think I'm just going to keep following this color format for the entire sweater, this one, and let that be. And then here's my Red Heart Super Saver yarn. Woo. Yeah, so there's that. And here's a project that I was working on before that, and then I stopped working on this one to start focusing on that one. But there's two different panels. They're both the same situation, same color scheme, same pattern and everything. But I think I'm going to make it into like a tunic top, like a long sleeve tunic top. I don't know. And yeah, that's probably what I'll do with it, like a, anyway, tunic top. My thing with this was like, I kind of, like, I'm not really following a specific color scheme for this, other than like, I like these colors, but I don't know if I want to repeat them. And you can see all my loose ends here, how I want to repeat them, if I want to like keep following the same color format, or if I want to change it up some more, because I did kind of change it up as I've gone. And I want to mix up some stitches as I keep like expanding it or lengthening it. But I just kind of got to the point to where I was feeling uninspired by it. Like, I don't know which color to jump to next. I'll probably, I don't know, probably blue or one of the more pastel-y colors. But yeah, so that's been sitting on the back burner for about a week and a half now. And then the final project to show for now is a shawl. I love making shawls. And so this is a knitted one. The others are like those stripy things are all crochet, by the way. But this is a pattern, a free pattern that I found on Ravelry, and I think it's called Birds of a Feather. And it has that feather and fan patterning to it. I know you can't really see it, it's all scrunched up. But it's just a simple pattern to follow. Like, you can almost memorize it, or I can almost memorize it. I mean, people with better memories probably could memorize it. But it's very simple. Like, it's a lacy shawl, but it's a super lacy shawl, which I usually like more complex lacy shawls, but I don't have a printer currently that works. So, and when you do lace shawls, they've got a lot of stitches to have to follow on a pattern, and like a lot of times I'll just like hand write out different lines, and so I didn't want to be writing like 100 different stitches per line. Yeah, so it was just easier just to go with something simple. And I'm using the Lion brand Mandela yarn in, I think it's called Nifflers is the colorway. It's pretty. So that's my current projects for now, I believe. Yep. Oh, it's like all my current projects. Oh yeah, so I met up with one of my friends from work yesterday, and we went out and had like a little bit of a girls' day, and we went to we went to some shopping areas, and we ended up at a Bath and Body Works. And I don't really have a big haul or anything, but that particular location had some of the holiday stuff left over for 75% off. So I saw the prices and I couldn't resist myself. So I got the Vanilla Bean Noel lotion and body wash, and I think they were less than $4 a bottle. I want to say they're probably like $3.70 a bottle. So I thought that was a great deal, because they're originally $13.50. I remember when these used to be like $9 or $9.50, and then they went up to like $11.50, and now they're $13.50. So, great deal. That's almost $10 off a bottle. I would never spend full price for a bottle, but hey. So, and from what I gathered, I think a lot of locations still have like a lot of the different holiday, like there's quite a few holiday scents that are currently 75% off. It's just that location didn't have the other scents, but I love this scent, so here we go. It's like you can never have enough body wash or lotion for that matter, even though I do have a ton of lotion right now and a ton of body sprays. Still, whatever. It was a great deal. I can't resist. I almost, like, I got a coupon. Well, I got home from that little girls' day out yesterday. In the mail, I had a coupon for Bath & Body Works where I had, like, the free item, and then you could also get 20% off. I was like, darn. I wish I'd had that before going out, but whatever. I almost was going to stop in the mall today just to go and get that, but I was thinking I really don't want to be, like, running all over that area just going shopping. Like, after I went to JoAnn's today, I had to take my dad over to the bookstore, and then there's a grocery store over by the bookstore, so we ended up, it wasn't like, normally we shop at Kroger's, it was at Aldi's, by the way. So normally we shop at Kroger's, and there's some things that we get at Aldi's, or I guess it's Aldi's, but I knew we needed to grocery shop. I just didn't feel like going to Kroger, but I was saying, oh, we could stop by Kroger near our house on the way back home. It's a good thing we didn't. There's a whole long story about that. But that Aldi's out there, like where we went today, is a nice area. It's a more upper scale area than Nashville in general. So the Aldi's out there was so, like, it was well stocked. Like, I haven't seen a grocery store around here stocked since like before Thanksgiving. So this place was all stocked. They had it was larger than our usual Aldi's that we go to, and they had good stuff. They had really good stuff, so I was able to go grocery shopping out there, and I'm glad. But like every time I go grocery shopping, or every time like I'm out doing stuff, like if I'm going to more than 2 places, it just kind of wears me down. So yeah, plus I got up a little bit earlier because I knew I was going out there today, and I wanted to get out there before the traffic. And it's amazing. So they say things happen for a reason, and I am a firm believer in that, because like when we were leaving to come home, I was thinking about going interstate. I don't like going interstate, and it was kind of like borderline that time of the day where you really don't want to go to the interstate because the traffic is starting to get bad, even though it's still early in the afternoon. But it's just, the bigger Nashville and the surrounding areas get, of course, the worse the traffic gets. So I was like, I don't want to deal with all that. I'd rather just take the long back roads and just, you know, take a longer commute, take more time, but not be as stressed out. So where we were, the area that we were at, trying to get back into the main road to take the little back roads and everything, traffic's backed up. I hate that shopping center in general just because of the traffic. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go a different way. I'm gonna go a way that I don't know, and I'm gonna try to not use the GPS, thinking that I'm gonna wind up on one of the roads that I'm familiar with. Like, I'm gonna eventually wind up on the road that I'm familiar with. Didn't happen, so I had to pull out my GPS, and it's a good thing I did. I was kind of close to where I was thinking I would end up, but I wasn't. So the GPS got me to where I was trying to get to. But like when I was, you know, putting in my address and everything, I was like, and I was like, you know what, I'm gonna put void interstate, because I didn't want it. Like, I was kind of thinking, at that point, I was saying maybe I should go back to the interstate. I don't know. I really don't want to, but, you know, interstate is typically quicker. I just don't want to get off the interstate and have to worry about merging over into the lane because traffic. Like, there's too many cars in the freaking area. Whatever. So, yeah, so I was like, okay, let's just get home. So, and like when I use the GPS, like in that case, I was thinking, I'm just gonna get back on the main road and then I'm just gonna go the way I always go. So it was saying, you know, it's taken me the quickest route to avoiding a wreck on the interstate. And I was like, cool, whatever, you know, wreck on the interstate, what's new? I mean, I've been there before. I've been the person who's been wrecked on the interstate. So, which is another reason why I hate going to the interstate. So, it was zigzagging us through. It was going my typical way. But then, like, when we were somewhere in Brentwood, it wanted me to cut off onto one street. I'm like, this is odd. I was like, I wouldn't normally think to go this way, but I'm like, I'm thinking it's probably gonna zigzag me around and take me back to another street in particular. So I was like, you know what, it was helping me to avoid another intersection that I hate turning at, because it's just a big cluster. Like, it's a big cluster mess, and it's right before the interstate exit anyway, and then it gets all jumbled up. And I was like, no. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna let the GPS guide me this way. I'm not gonna ignore it. I'm just gonna follow it. I'm like, whatever, let's go with it. The GPS is gonna get me where I need to go anyway. So it zigzags me through, and it takes me where I think it's gonna take me, but then it zigzags me off that path too. And then, like, while I'm driving, listening to the radio, and then all of a sudden the radio is talking about, like, the whole interstate is shut down between the exit that I sometimes get off at and then the other exit, which I would normally get off at. But, you know, today I was thinking about the exit that I sometimes get off at, because it's it's the first exit you come upon. But it's just, again, I hate Tuki. You okay under there? I don't know what's going on with her. She just wants some attention. So it's the exit, like, it's one of the situations where you have to get over quick. Otherwise, you're gonna wind up in a turn lane, and it's a whole, again, a mess. Just, I hate it. I hate it. So, and then the other exit is, yeah, I just wanted to get home and not have to worry, but, like, I just didn't want to deal with all that. Like, it just was not in the mood to deal with it. So it's gonna reroute me around all that, and it's a good thing it did, because, like I was saying, I'm getting all over the place now. So the two exits, like, they were shut down. Like, first one and then the second one was all shut down because there's this big police standoff, and they're like, there's an officer involved shooting on the radio, and they said the interstate was a parking lot, like, all the way back beyond where the area I had been to was. So, yeah, it's, first off, I got up early so we could get out there, so I could have plenty of time and not be, like, stressing about trying to get back home before it got dark or whatever. So it's a good thing I got up early and went out there when I did, because I have avoided that going there. And then GPS, I'm glad I listened to the GPS. I'm glad I used the GPS. I'm glad I let the GPS reroute me, because it was talking about, like, because the interstate being a parking lot and, like, the exit shut down and people having to find other routes. They're saying, like, all the main roadways and whatnot, intersections were, like, chaotic, backing up. And I was like, wow. I avoided all of that. And I learned a few back roads that I was not aware of to get around. I'm like, cool. So everything was peachy keen up until we got on my street and right before my driveway, and then all of a sudden there was a traffic jam at my driveway, because we have another interstate just down the street from us. And I think that, like, what happened on this other interstate had a lot to do with that, because, like, the interstates all intercross and intermingle and whatnot. And plus there had been another wreck, like, on down a ways down the interstate. So I was like, oh great, we got a traffic jam in front of the house, which is not unusual, but usually it's like an hour or two after the time that this was going on. So I was like, ah, great. So it's just, I was able to avoid all that traffic and keep moving up until I got right before my driveway and got stuck in traffic. I just, even though I could see my house, I could see my driveway, I'm like so close but so far away. Like, it took a while to make it to my driveway. I was like, oh, just let me get up my driveway. And finally I did. I was like, okay, cool, finally home. So that was my day. I don't know. Oh, and one final thing I want to touch on. So this is no way like an endorsement. I'm not being compensated, nothing whatsoever, no affiliate codes, links, or anything. But I keep seeing these Aurora, I can't even talk now, Aurora Borealis / Northern Light projector things on the internet, mainly on Instagram. By the way, I don't do TikTok. I don't have a TikTok. I don't do TikTok. Maybe if I had space on my phone, I might, but I'm sure it's probably all over TikTok. That's probably how it got famous and why I'm seeing it on Instagram now. But they're just little light projectors, and so I, like, the link on Instagram took me to one that was like, I think it was on sale for like $50, somewhere in that price range. So I was like, well, let me just look on Amazon. If it's on the website here, usually I can find a zillion of them on Amazon, and sure enough I did. Most of them were in the $40+ range, and I was like, oh, come on. And like they were all different models and everything. And then, so of course, you know, looking through the reviews, yes, Tuki, you want to come out and play, or you just want to chill out, you want attention? She just wants attention. So I finally found one that was like $23 and it had really good reviews compared to some of the more expensive ones. And it's a Bluetooth speaker too. So I you know, I bought it. And so I have some footage of me like opening up the box and everything, showing it, so I'll insert that. And then I think I have some footage of me with it playing music. I think I have BTS Mic Drop, the one featuring, was it Designer, with his little rap at the beginning. By the way, I like the, not the original version per se, but like the American radio version. I don't know, maybe it's not the maybe the Designer one, it was there. I'm talking about a song that's been out for several years now. But anyway, like, I have that playing through the speaker, because like you can make the lights like dance to the music, more so like the beat of the music, like they flash to the beat of the music. But I have that clip, and I think I'll insert that. I hope I won't get copyright struck by it, but I think, from what I understand, and one reason why I chose the BTS song, other than the fact that I do like the song a lot, it's probably the only BTS song I really like, but I love it. Let's just say it. I love it. But my video is about to, not my video, my battery is about to die. Okay, so I just changed out the battery, and I noticed that there was a tiny hair on the camera lens. So if that's been there this entire time and it's messed with the video, I'm so sorry. But I'm leaving it as is. I'm not re-recording this, but I apologize. So, what I was saying about BTS, from what I heard, their company, their label, whoever, is pretty cool with like fans using the music and not like putting it in the system or however they do it. Like, I know there's some kind of software that can detect the music. So they don't typically copyright strike people who use the music, because at least that's what I've heard. And the reason is because, like, that's, you know, people are using the music, therefore the music's getting like promotion in that respect, which makes sense. I like that. I like that a lot. So yeah. And then I don't know if I have a clip without the music. I may do a clip without. I may do several clips just to show the different modes. I don't know. Don't hold me to that. But so far, I love the thing. The only thing is like where you plug the little cord. Like everything these days seems to be like USB based. Like you have to have a USB adapter to plug it into the wall or whatever. But the USB cord where it plugs into the actual projector itself, like just one tiny bit of movement, like almost if you literally breathe while looking at it, the connection isn't good. And I don't know if it's the cord itself or if it's like inside the projector where the little mechanism is that it plugs into, if that's what it is. It's just not making good contact. That's my only irk about it so far. I don't know. I hope it holds up long term. That's the one thing, like a lot of the more expensive ones, people have had issues where like it stopped working shortly after receiving it or after using it. So I hope that this thing holds up long term. But it's cool. I love it. Like it's great. I kind of want to buy like a zillion more of them just to have them like all throughout the house. Like, only bad thing is like it projects like these stars, but it's like a laser beam, and I'm like iffy about that because you've got to be super careful about laser beams and like your eyes and everything. And also I worry about my cat. I don't like, you know how like there's a lot of cat toys or like laser beams are often marketed as like a cat toy, and I hate that because if the cat looks, I mean, that's gonna ruin their vision. Like, that's horrible. Like, why? That and the stupid bell collars, because I have a whole thing about that. Like, you know, their ears are sensitive and they have that jingling bell on them and they can't escape it. Just, anyway, whatever. But that's my own, like, that's the only thing I don't like about those star projectors, because the laser beam. And for that reason, like, I'm like, you've got to be careful with your eyes. Maybe I'm overly sensitive, or maybe I'm overly cautious about that. But as somebody who has vision problems, and with family with vision problems, like more serious vision problems, I'm like, ugh, protect at all costs.
I am stupidly excited for this little projector thing that's supposed to be like the Aurora Borealis night sky projector. So it was just delivered from Amazon just a few minutes ago. So let me see if I can open it up with one hand. This should be fun because tonight we're supposed to have another onset of bad wintry weather set in. It's raining outside right now. So definitely don't plan to go anywhere tomorrow. But here's a little, well, it's not really a little instruction booklet. It's kind of pretty thick for something of this size. Nature. Aha. The little remote control. Yes. And then I guess that's like the base to it. There's a little stand for it. Here's a little UFO. Ooh, okay. Got the texture built into the plastic bulb thing. There's little buttons, and then I guess you prop it on the stand. And then the USB adapter cord, and that's it. Chain around my neck and a song. Smoking on that gas, I ain't passing off. Somebody's knowing I'm not a cop. Too busy thinking about my money and I'm tired. How many hours do we fly? I keep on swimming on the cloud. Down with the mountains, down with the power. Every day we vibe and you might drop.
Well, I could go on and ramble even more, but I think I'm going to end this here because my voice, my throat, I'm in that mode where I'm just going to start coughing non-stop. So I think I'm going to stop this, but I hope everybody's alright. Like, I know this whole virus situation is just worse. It's getting worse and worse. Currently have 3 people who are very dear to me who all have it, and then plus they have family who have it. So I hope everybody gets better who has it. Like, I know it can have long-term effects, but I don't want to be preachy, but you know, I'm not going to say anything about the vaccine. We all have our personal beliefs about the vaccine. I won't go into mine, but I know everybody has their own personal beliefs about everything, but I'm like, please, like, wear a mask at least. I just know from work where I've worked at, just the amount of people that come in there and what you witness when people come in and what they do, I just like, I know mask is not 100%, I can't even talk. not like fully effective. It's probably not even effective at all, but at least it gives you some sense of protection, or at least maybe not you yourself, but it may give people around you some sense of protection. Like, I swear, every time I go into work, there's at least 3 or 4 people, customers, that come in without masks on, which I think they're supposed to be wearing masks in our store. Like, I think our store expects people to wear a mask regardless of what, you know, is loud and whatnot. I don't even know if there's any mask mandates anymore or not, but they just openly sneeze, not even cover their friggin' mouths. So I'm like, at least if they had a mask on, if they could sneeze into the mask, at least that would limit the particles flying all over the place. Because Sunday in particular, one lady just achoo, achoo, achoo over and over again, and I knew she was close to me, but I didn't realize how close she was to me because I had my back, and then there was another aisle, and she came around from that aisle. She came over to me to like ask me questions, and I was like, oh gosh, like, why? It's just, no. And then like yesterday when I was out with my friend, we were at well, we were out eating, and you know, of course you're not going to wear a mask while you're eating, but this group of elderly people came in. I don't know, like, it could just be because, you know, allergies, weather change, so much sneezing going on, like on the other, like they were on the other side of the booth that I was in, like they were like back to back with me, and all I kept hearing was achoo. I was just like, oh, good grief. So now, like, now that I'm coughing, I'm like, I know what mine is, but I'm like in the back of my mind thinking like about those situations. I'm like, ugh. I was kind of like, at that time, I wish I'd had a mask on, but like I was eating, so whatever. But anyway, I'll stop being preachy. I'm just saying, I know somebody could pop in with statistics saying that masks are ineffective, or like fabric masks are ineffective. Just saying, just be safe, people. Be safe. And, you know, we don't want to get sick. Take your vitamin C, your zinc, your vitamin D, regardless of your vaccination status. Take those things. Like, that's what I've been taking all along. I'm just saying. Just saying. I won't go into details about that. But I'm going to wait till later on when a certain time passes. So I will talk about that in another point in time. Assuming that I'm still in fine health. Anywho. So everybody take care and stay safe. And I hope everybody's doing well.